in the SD version, since there were 8 of them, you have to make sure that you had lots and lots of rupees. Since in this version, they took away 5 of the 8 treasure charts in the game, well, that's not so much of a big deal in this case. So of course, that's just this is what makes Wind Waker HD a more casual friendly version than compared to the SD version. Hello, swordsman. I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? I've come to plant the Great Deku Tree. But look, usually the forest trees sprout quite vigorously. I can't read the rest of the text. It seems that when one tree fails to grow from its seed, oh my god. What are we to do? If we are not able to nurse these trees to health, oh my god. Maybe if we could sprinkle the water from the Forest Haven on the tree, maybe then this spring would be saved. That water is the wellspring of the Great Deku Tree. Swordsman, could you go to the Forest Haven and get some forest water? Okay, will do. I'm actually going to be doing that later. I'm not going to be doing that right now. Well, I haven't really looked into it yet of what that quest is exactly about. So, I'm not going to worry about that for now. Alright, so we just went through Angular Isles. I believe that's, no, we didn't go through Angular Isles. We went through Cliff Plateau Isles, and I did not talk about anything about what Cliff Plateau Isles was about. Basically, you can actually, if you, based on these islands that I've been that I'm going through, like, if you know the item, like, you looking at the items that are required to actually explore these islands. Some of these islands you could explore really early on in the game, but of course with the route that I did in this that I've been doing so far in the playthrough, I chose not to do these not to explore these islands early. In Cliff Plateau Isles, all I needed was Deku Leaf, well, yeah, all I needed was Deku Leaf, and that was it. So I could have explored that island right when I had, right after getting the, right after going through the Forbidden Woods. But of course, like I said, I chose not to do that because that would be way out of the way from the route that I was taking. But with this but now with this exploration route, it's not so much of a big deal. All right, so over here in 5-Star Isle, there is a submarine, and the submarine contains another heart piece. So another heart piece in our 44 heart pieces collection. We'll be sure to get all 44 heart pieces by the end of this game. There's a lot of heart pieces in this game. I believe. Well, no. This does not have the most heart pieces in a Zelda game. Because Twilight Princess had 45, which is one more than what this game has. But then again, this game has a very little amount of well, actually, no. Majora's Mask has. Majora's Mask has a lot of heart pieces, but then again, I've never actually finished Majora's Mask, so I don't know like the exact number. I'm pretty sure it does have a lot, considering Majora's Mask itself has 4 dungeons. So of course I would imagine that it has lots of heart pieces in that game. Usually games that have very little amount of dungeons would have lots of heart pieces, which means, well, in any percent perspective, it would be a short game. But for like fully completing the game, well, you're in for a treat because that's a lot that you have to go through, unfortunately. Alright, I had to take a sip of water there. Or actually, not really a sip of water. It's actually a bunch of sips of water. because I'm tired of talking at this point. But dumb excuse. But anyway, here in this cave in the boat course, which is what this next square that I'm in currently is called, the cave. And you have to use the boomerang. You don't have to hit these switches all in one shot with the boomerang. You just have to hit all 3 of these with the boomerang, and then you get yourself the submarine chart. As you can see on screen, that's what the submarine chart looks like. Since as I've already mentioned, I can't display any charts on screen because all the charts are displayed on the gamepad. So gotta find a way to show these off. Otherwise, then if I'm talking about these maps, then it's gonna look all stupid. So that's what the submarine chart looks like. It shows off. So just like the platform chart, this shows off where all the submarines are, but they won't show you the exact location. It'll just tell you, hey, there's a submarine in this square, which is pretty useful if you want to explore all the submarines. Not all the submarines will contain useful stuff, but I mean, majority from what I found out, most of the submarines contain some pretty neat stuff. Like for example, I've already went through a few submarines that have treasure charts and and 2 of the submarines that have that piece of heart. Those are the ones that I think are worth exploring. Though I would recommend, since I mentioned that platforms and submarines can sometimes contain treasure charts or heart pieces, I would recommend checking every platform and every submarine just to make sure, just so you're sure that you're not missing out on anything important, because you will never know if a platform or a submarine will have a heart piece or a treasure chart unless you check them yourself. Anyway, so this is the boat minigame on the boating course, of course, which is why it's called the boating course, because there's a boat minigame here. Unfortunately, you do not use the swift sail here, so this is actually a pretty slow minigame. Unfortunately, once you get the swift sail, it just feels weird using the regular sail. Because like the regular sail, well, once you start using the regular sail after using the swift sail so much, it just seems very, very slow. Like, even though it's usually supposed to be fast when you're like traveling through the Great Sea in general, but it's just I don't know. I just think it's just weird. Just using the regular sail after having the swift sail so much. I guess I just play too much HD to figure that out. I mean, of course, if you're playing SD, then wow, good luck going through the whole game, because you only have the regular sail, and not only that, but you can't just sail around freely. So you have to like constantly change the wind all the time. So that just makes with the swift sail exclusive to HD, man, it just feels so much better. At least in my opinion. That makes me like want to like go back to SD. If I still own the SD version of this game, I would totally like revisit just to like see how it feels just to play that version as opposed to this version, because I did mention very early on that when I got the HD version, I've never like played very far in SD before. I think the farthest I've went up to on the SD version was Dragon Roost Island, and I think that's it. So yeah, I didn't play far at all. That's like maybe 20 minutes of the game right there. So yeah, that's not very far at all, which is pretty sad when I think about it. But But now since I get to revisit the game again, because I have this game on HD, well, yay. Okay, so anyway, this is Angular Isles. Angular Isles is actually really it's a really interesting island in terms of design. Like if you look at this. This island is made out of blocks, literally. All I could do, I mean, I bet like building this island is like just the easiest thing to do, because all you have to do is get a bunch of building blocks, stack them onto each other, and then just place it on like a body of water, and that's it. That is it. Like there's no effort into doing it, like there's no other like way to like describe how this island is made out of, pretty much, I guess. I don't know. Wow. That was an epic fail right there. Maybe I should jump slash in order to ensure that I'm gonna make stuff, because that's not helping apparently. Man, I was thinking about cutting this out, but there was but of course I could just easily just do this, and I almost rolled off this island again, which would have caused a lot of problems, but thankfully thankfully we didn't cause any more trouble, which is good. All right, so this puzzle is deceivingly complicated, but once you understand how to do this, it's actually pretty easy. All you have to do, so you have to move that block right there, move it halfway, and then jump down, jump down, move the very bottom one once, and then just climb up the stairs and move every single block once, just like this. So it's not a very hard puzzle once you figure it out. And then your reward for coming up here is lights. So that way you can deflect lights off of this invisible chest. So you can go ahead and fly to it right now. And this will contain a silver rupee, which is 200 rupees. So if you want a lot of rupees, which if you're playing along on the SD version, you probably want that, because you need lots of rupees for finding all of the Triforce charts. Wink, wink. Okay, so that's over. That's Angular Isles, and now we're gonna head on to the final area of this video, which is to Eye Reef. So this is the first of the reefs that I'm showing off here. I don't know off the top of my head how many reefs there are, but basically these reefs are pretty interesting. Basically, what you have to do for these reefs is once you go inside, it is literally a battlefield. There are a lot of bomb ships and bomb cannons firing at you as soon as you step inside this island. And so all you have to do is blow every single one of them up. You do not. There are bomb ships surrounding the reefs themselves, but you do not have to worry about the outside bomb ships at all. Just the ones that are inside. And so your reward for defeating all these bomb ships is a treasure chest. That treasure chest will contain something very, very special. What could that be? I wonder. Oh, I guess I went for this treasure chest. Alright, well, that's 50 extra rupees for me. Yeah, I cut that out because that's 50. It's just 50 rupees. Everyone knows what that is. Basically, most of these chests that are on these glowing spots, they mostly contain 50 rupees, and that's really it. Wow. I am so surprised that bomb did not blow me up. It was literally like it exploded right in front of my face, and that didn't hurt at all. Man, Toon Link is a pro. Let me just say that right now. Now, okay, so for this, you can tell which direction the wind is blowing just from looking at the flag. And so when the wind's blowing the right way, you can easily glide all the way to this spot over here to get this chest, and so you get another treasure chart, which is really awesome. Okay, so that is all that I covered. So that's all the islands that I covered in this video. There is one particular side quest that I forgot to do many videos ago because apparently I wasn't thinking, and I didn't realize that I was missing the side quest until I was editing the episode. And so what I'm doing here is I am warping back to Windfall Island to cover this quest. And it made me feel retarded when I found out that I didn't do this at all, because I did this in practice, and so I guess I didn't remember. I didn't think that I was missing this, but here we go. So basically, if you have 20 skull necklaces, you can go inside this. You can go inside this rich house that I went through like a few times already, and show it to this guy right here, Maggie's dad, and he's gonna be like, "Oh wow, skull necklaces! This is how I got rich in a day. Now I get to be even more rich." That's awesome. Good for you. I'm glad you're the richest man in the world, and thanks for the treasure chart. All right, and with that, I was once quite poor myself, you know. Yeah, I know, because you told me to rescue your daughter. I don't know if you remember that or not, but yeah, this guy is weird. He has a change of personality. Like he was all like a begging type of guy, and then all of a sudden now he's just a really greedy guy. Anyway, that's a good bit for this episode of The Legend of Zelda: The Wind Waker. Next time, we're going to be continuing exploring more islands. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.